All right, guys, welcome back. It's Jay Rich. Today's video is going to be about how to use the CB radio, basic functions, and I'm going to show you on this Cobra 29. I'm going to show you on my Galaxy. Now, if you'd like to see the digital Cobra 29, I've got a video that I'll put a link in the description below. And what that basically shows you is how to set the SWRs on the Cobra 29, and it works basically the same as the standard classic 29. Now, before we get started into the video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Y'all know how to do it? Just do it. So let's get into the video. All right, let's start off with this Cobra 29. Simple functions. You have a volume knob that is on the inside. Then you have a squelch that is on the outside. The volume is pretty self-explanatory. You turn it all the way down. Not going to hear anything until, boom, it's off. The squelch is the outside. The squelch is what I use to control the static that you're hearing, because you're gonna hear static depending on where you get into bigger cities and stuff. The static will go up. Atmospheric conditions, the static can go up or down. Accessories like your cell phone, your refrigerator, your LED lights, all that can this needle starts swinging up with the static. I use the squelch to control that, and basically I turn this knob until the static goes away and maybe just a little bit above. If you crank this knob all the way around, you're not going to hear anything, except for maybe some high-powered radios that are nearby. So I try to keep that as low as I can so I can hear everybody. Next knob over here is your Dynamic. Dynamic is kind of a volume control for your microphone as to what people are hearing. So the more you turn this back this way to minimum, the lower sound, maybe farther away sounding you're going to be, and which I don't think is a good thing. However, turning it all the way wide open can lead to the person hearing you hearing more of a squealing sound, or sort of a electronic tone sound. So I like to cut it back to about the 4 o'clock to the 3 o'clock position, so that does not happen. Your RF gain is your is kind of a volume control as well. And I'll show you on the Galaxy, but I like to leave this wide open so that I hear lower power radios and higher power radios. The more you turn this counterclockwise, the less you're going to hear. Those guys with the high power radios, their voice is not going to be as loud to you, and and with the lower power radios, some of those you're not going to hear them at all. The more you turn that until you hear nothing, basically. Delta tune, this is some sort of a fine-tuning knob. I leave it straight up in the notch that it has, and it basically does nothing for me whatsoever. This is your SWR calibrate knob right here. In your normal day-to-day, this knob has no function whatsoever. The only thing this is used for is SWR calibration. And the video that I'm linking down below will show you that on the digital Cobra 29, how to do that. And basically, when you switch down to calibrate, you're going to tune your antenna in. You will use this knob to turn it back and forth to get this needle to move all the way over. And see if I can get it without getting out of focus. But you see it says CAL at the top. Then there's a little down arrow into a gap in that red line. You're going to just move this back and forth to get your needle right in that notch in that red line there. With your mic keyed up, then when you unkey the mic, the needle goes back down. you flip to SWR, you key back up, and then this needle should move a little bit. It may not, depending on how good your system is. It'll move up and down to tell you what your SWR is. For normal function, this is where you're going to be in your send and receive frequency. Your channel selector, pretty self-explanatory. This is sort of a noise filter. You know, it does very little for me anyways. So leave it up in the N, B, A, and L. Your CB and your PA, this is for your CB function. This would be for a PA function. Now for the PA function, you would need an external speaker plugged into the PA function, kind of like the police do when they tell you to pull your car to the shoulder because they're going to give you a ticket. That's what a PA is. Let's see, your bright and your dim, self-explanatory. It brightens and dims the light on the CB. Normal, channel 9, we leave it in normal. Whatever channel you're on 19 or 22 or 38 or whatever. Then when you flip this, it'll automatically take your channel to channel 9. Self-explanatory. This, back in the day, I don't know if they still do, but back in the day, police and first responders would monitor channel 9, and you could call for help because we didn't have cell phones. So this was our cell phone right here. As far as these lights, this is you have your antenna light and your talk and receive light. If your antenna light comes on, you have a problem. You have a problem with your coax, your SWRs, your antenna. There's a problem, and that light's going to light up and tell you that. Your talk and receive should be green when you talk. If it's not, then you have a problem, which I have had before. Being able to hear people but not to talk out, and it was a part inside the radio that went bad. On the back of the radio, it's very basic. You've got your coax, you've got your power, your PA, and external speaker. I like running an external speaker just because that's what I like to do. So there is the Cobra 29 Classic, the basic functions and features of it, what they do, and basically how to use it. Yeah. So let's move on to the Galaxy. All right, guys. So let's move on up here to the Galaxy. There's a lot of different functions on this radio compared to the Cobra 29. It's front mic cable, like let me tighten that up. Gee whiz. Like your Cobra 29 has. The display, needle display, is a lot bigger. I enjoy that much more. We'll get into what this red is, but same basic kind of deal. You got your volume control, you've got your squelch. Now if you see, it takes the static out, and as that climbs, I have to turn it more. So that's what I use to get the static out, so I'm not hearing that static all day. Your mic gain, dynamic on the Cobra 29 is right here. That's wide open. And then your RF gain. Let's get that static back. I'm going to turn the RF gain. And you hear that static gets lower and lower. It's kind of like a volume control. But also keep in mind that controls, you'll not hear people as well if you turn that up too high. On the Galaxy, here's your dimmer that turns the backlight up or down. And for fat finger people, it's hard to get in here sometimes. Let's say this is my power. All the way open is the max power of the radio, and then I can turn it down as need be. This little button right here, it changes the color of the radio. And there are several different colors. Yeah, it's so cool. right? It's awesome. Let's go to blue. Everybody likes blue. This over here is your channel selector. You can just change the channel like that. So you get your RX. So when you key up, that's going to change colors. It does have a light for your SWR. It does have a light for when you're on 10K, which we'll get into that shortly. Up here is your frequency selector. This radio is capable of single sideband. Single sideband is kind of like channels between channels, sort of. It's just different frequencies that is not on your standard CB radio. And then there's a series of other switches up here to use with the single sideband. If you ever see a radio that's got a series of numbers right here, like 27.805, whatever, that's a frequency number. So you use that counter to see what frequencies you're on, because they don't show up here as normal channels. The echo, the inner knob is the echo, and the outer is the time. The time is how long that echo drags out. I don't run echo. I think it's kind of ridiculous. Can't nobody hear you anyways. Next up is your SWR and Roger beep. So when I key up, turn the talk back on, you got the stupid Roger beep. I don't like Roger beeps. I leave that off. Up is SWR. This radio is self-calibrating SWR. So that is my SWR on this radio. And then back to normal CB operation, which is a 85 watt dead key. Not terrible. Next is that NB whatever noise filter thing. You can hear the change. Well, so you can hear the change in the static. Next up is the AM, FM, and the PA. The AM is for your normal CB operation. The FM, I believe, works with the single sideband. I'm not sure. The PA is for that external loudspeaker like the police have. Next is the mod lamp. This is your mod lamp. On this radio, like I'm talking to the radio, break 1 2, break 1 2. See, that light is not lighting up. Actually, I'm on 21, imagine that. Break 2 1, break 2 1. Now you have your mod lamp is, if you watch, it's flashing with the sound of my voice. That's how I know, without having talkback on, that I'm getting out, I'm clear, people can hear me. That's just a kooky little function of that. So I leave that on. See, talkback, echo. I don't like running talkback, so I just leave it on the echo. It does pretty good. On the back of the radio, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a coax, there's a power, then there's my external speaker, and also back there is a plug-in for the PA. And there's another plug-in back there for the external frequency counter, which I would have to place like above or below or on my dash or somewhere. I would have to put that external counter to do the single sideband because I don't have the display here. Oh, one other thing I forgot is down here, this 10K. And you see that light changes. That is also for the single sideband to get you through those upper and lower channels. So yeah, there is the function of the Galaxy. That's a 10 meter radio converted to 11 meter to work on normal frequencies. A lot more features to it than the Cobra 29. a lot of features, some features I use, some I don't, you know, like the whole single sideband. I don't even use it. So, but yeah, set it back to 2019 there. And there you have it. There's the Galaxy. All right, guys, there's the basic operations of the CB radio. One other thing that I do want to point out to where people have a hard time, say people don't hear them clearly, they don't they're not very loud. One thing you have to realize with the CB radio is most microphones are noise canceling microphones nowadays. There are some that still are not, and they're crappy, stuff like that. But talking into your mic is a big thing. Now I'm gonna talk. I'm just gonna talk into this microphone, and you really can't hear me very loud in the external speaker. But if I get closer, you can hear me very well, talking at the same volume. Once again, back here, you can't hear me very well. But when you get close to the microphone picks up your voice, and all of the other background noise is drowned out because it's noise canceling. But if I'm back here, you're going to hear probably more noise and not me. So, microphones, put them to your mouth. You might be like, oh, it's gross, it's disgusting. You put worse things in your mouth than that microphone. Now, if it's somebody else's microphone, I probably really don't want to put that to my mouth. But my microphone, put it to your mouth and talk. So, yeah, that's another big thing that people don't understand. They just want to, break one nine, break one nine. It's got to be up here to your mouth. But yeah, so anyways, guys, there is the basic CB radio functions. As requested by some of my subscribers and maybe some of you that don't subscribe. But I want to put every video out there that I can to help you. If you've got an idea, just drop it in the comments, man. Because like CB function to me is basic. I mean, I've been talking on CBs for 30-something years now, and so just the kind of the basic how-to is. It's every day to me. So, and it may not be to some of you. And, you know, trying to put myself in the mindset of a newer driver or somebody who just wants a CB radio just to toy around with and hear what's going on out there. I don't think about those things. So, like I said, if you've got something you want to see, drop it down below in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get it out as soon as I can to you. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. It's much appreciated. It's not that hard to do. It's really not. So keep your knees in the breeze. Shiny side up. We'll be seeing you.